Like I say, that's how I know about the forging of the swords and forging of material and getting the silica from the volcanoes, because they were mine. Those were they like I say, for some reason it's actually been lost to the history books or something like that, and they have some brief mentioning of it in some photo, and they showed some photographs finally, and they finally dug it up and found it. That yeah, there's this volcano. There's two of them. They're really huge and really big, and they're full of lava, and and we were really and they kind of briefly talk about it. Yeah, there were like two little places, and like yeah, they used to kind of like get some lava out of them. Blah blah blah. It's like yeah, that was me. Those were my groups. Those were my people. And there were like ships going to them back and forth from them, and we did it for like a couple hundred years probably. There were two volcanoes. One of them we finally collapsed because it was going to collapse on its own. It had sealed up, and then it was going to collapse. And they were getting the sulfur from the inside or something like that. We had sulfur workers working on the inside collecting the sulfur from the volcano because it was just giving off sulfur or something like that. And so there were sulfur workers working inside the volcano. Like that was me. Those were my people. They had to be very, 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 very careful. And it was really, really hazardous work. And they were really highly paid. I mean, that was me. That was Lucifer Star. Anyway, and my epic existence. And like there's other stuff, like dropping a whole side of a mountain into the ocean. Like we had mined out this one whole section of a mountain, basically. This first like couple hundred or like 4 miles. So basically it was just overburden. And basically I was like, let's drop it. So they drilled a whole bunch of mine shafts down the thing. And then they're like, boom! And like dropped it into the water. And they created like this huge tidal wave. So, like before that, we put a bunch of buildings that could be sealed around, and we got everyone away from the shores. And that's what we built. We built some fake villages and had some fake people out there and some statues and stuff. And we dropped the side of the mountain on it and went for this cliff face. So it went like 6 miles or 9 miles of basically of hillside, basically just going into the ocean. Anyway, yeah. So they dropped it into the ocean, and basically this giant tidal wave of, and like there's pictures of it of like the side dropping and like the wave coming at my. I put like two submarine ships basically in front, so they're gonna be filming, and like we're gonna catch the thing sliding into the ocean. We caught the film of the thing sliding into the ocean, and basically there's 3 ships in the front right there, and they were gonna like. And like the people were all strapped in, like filming. You're crazy. Yeah, ain't it cool? Like and these like submarine ships with these really thick glass, and like they went. Like we didn't lose them, of course. They were watertight and everything else like that. But they basically took the wave. And then like there's these 2 mountains that were gonna get swamped by it, and they had cameras rolling too. Basically, they're watertight little compartments. That's what those little things on those. There's like these hills out in the ocean, and like there's like a little bunker thing right there, and there's this like wedge thing, and that thing used to have this big sheet of glass in there, and basically it was all bolted in and solidly in there, and there was a camera going, and it filmed the wave going, just like at the camera. And like the whole island got swept. Like the island, it shows the island. It used to have trees and all kinds of stuff, and then the wave came over and went, and all the trees are gone. It's just like bare dirt and the little concrete huts, basically there. And like the people were they were caissoned into the ground, and I think there was a mine shaft or some deeper compartment. So we dug it in so it could take the wave, basically like 2/3 underground, and then there's a little pillbox on top, and had a camera and they're rolling. And basically, like the wave goes over the camera, like once in a lifetime kind of thing. I think we actually did it twice though, but yeah. And we had all the shorelines cleared, so when the wave went, and it just like carried all the way through to the other side, and it basically dissipated and all that other stuff. And everyone was aware, and we had ships that were anchored and ready to take the wave and all that. And I think we only lost like 1 ship or something like that. Or something like that to the wave, or something like that. Anyway, though, but yeah, it was like that was me. That was Lucifer Star. My explosives. And then later on, we were digging the canals and everything else like that. Like I always had like this ridiculous like hand of God. and everybody was really cool. They're like, yeah, boom, 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 like 36 miles of explosives. Like every 50 feet we had like 1,000 pounds of barrels or something like that. Like they show the barrels with the gunpowder and the ammonium nitrate all mixed in there, and then we place those barrels like every 50 feet down this channel, and then we were like, boom, like it was like a 4th of July celebration. Like we blew like 9 miles or 36 miles of trench. We had all these, basically 50, 60 gallon things of ammonium nitrate and gunpowder buried in the ground, and they all went boom, 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 boom. And I think we had a little there. I think for what we did for it is we had fireworks that were like, and then we lit off the trench as the last thing. Is boom, as the grand finale. Like I did that kind of stuff. That was me, Lusifer Star. So, yeah, I mean that was Lusifer Star, your epic leader. So I was always like larger than life, and like the one who had all the explosives and all the explosions, and like this monumental, just like epic creator, epic leader. So yeah, that was me. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I was always great. It was always wonderful. I was always like the leader and inventor and like this guy that did the outrageous stuff, like that cool guy. Like yeah, I mean, I was the cool leader. The guy who did the biggest 4th of July celebrations, the guy who fed the masses, the guy who was the hero, the guy who basically, like I was the guy, when they talk about like ships, the ships were like after the storm, the ships showed up about a week later. They seemed to go for miles, from horizon to horizon. Like that was me. Those were my people. Like nobody had to follow me. We were the heroes. Helena Troy, all that other stuff, the lady that launched 1,000 ships, she may have broke the wine bottle over 1,000 ships, but they're my ships. They're my people. They were my people for the longest time. And when you needed help, I was there. We were there. So, and when I wanted to go to space, I went to space with the LSF-A colony ship. So, that's what Stars and Stripes mean. That's what honor, dignity, pride means. And it was epic. It was everything, right up until the time of JFK. And he was like a record player. It's like Lucifer Star, epic existence, and he was like the record player getting scratched. And then I got kidnapped, and people were talking about there was some president that was really powerful, and he was on their side, and he wanted me or something like that, or something else, and I'm like I better watch out. I better watch my P's and Q's, or someone really powerful might do something about me, and this and that, and it's like, huh. Lucifer Star, better watch out. Oh. I guess I should. Yeah, so the creator of 800 galaxies and 12 types of the oldest life forms, and also the creator of basically some worm programs which were intelligent and sentient, and also a bunch of AI life forms that were also intelligent and sentient, and also the creator of basically the one who figured out basically sentience in general, as well as starships, as well as, let's see what else I figured out. Also the one who basically forged steel from volcanoes, and also was the one who also figured out tidal waves and had actual film of tidal waves and dropped 9 miles of shoreline. that were like 9 by 36, like 7 miles or 8 miles or something like that. It's all in the history books. And also had it filmed by both boats and also island communities, and also let off probably about 150 or 1,000 nuclear bombs, as well as also dug most of the canals, as well as did hydropower and wind power and just about everything else, and also had the first colony ship that left from Earth, and also basically faster than the speed of sound Mach 7 fighters that also made it from depleted uranium. I better watch out. There's someone more powerful than me.